Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Two of a Kind Sports, the show where passion meets the game. I am your co host, Denise,
And I am your co host, D Nice.
and thank you for joining us this evening as we go live to give you our two of a kind reaction to the Washington Commanders picking Sonny Styles at number 7 in the 2026 NFL Draft. D Nice, how are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling real good, Denise. Welcome to DC. I'm glad to have Sonny. I'm glad to have you. You know what I mean? So, with our first pick, I was extremely happy. I know you were as well, and we both said that regardless what Adam Peters picked, I think that we were in a good spot. So, I'm thankful that we did get a good, impactful player at number 7 in Sonny Styles.
I agree. I agree. I think, the defense of the Commanders definitely needed the most help, being ranked 32. And this move makes us younger, as we've been saying, even throughout free agency. It makes us younger, it makes us faster, it makes us stronger. So, Sonny Styles coming out of the Ohio State football program, which has been super successful this year, is a key acquisition, and I'm very, very happy with it.
Yep. And you know what? And with that, Denise, I got to play this for you.
Welcome to DC.
Yeah. Welcome, Sonny.
You know where you're at, the USA Cup. You're taking it slightly, I'm taking it slightly. Now how you gon' act? Oh, you gon' be right back. Well, we gon' be right here. We gon' be right here. You know where you're at, the USA Cup. You're taking it slightly, I'm taking it slightly. Now how you gon' act? Oh, you gon' be right back. Well, we gon' be right here. We gon' be right here. We ain't going
Going
nowhere.
nowhere.
Welcome to DC.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm
Yes.
talking about. That's, you know what I mean?
Welcome
Yeah.
to DC.
That's right.
Absolutely. So Mr. Sonny Styles again comes out of the Ohio State football program where Ohio State was churning them out in the 2026 draft, having four top 11 selections. We had Carnell Tate go at number 4 to the Tennessee Titans. We had linebacker edge Arvell Reese go
Yep.
to the New York Giants at number 5. They had of course, linebacker Sonny Styles come to us, the Washington Commanders. And then at number 11, safety Caleb Downs went to the Dallas Cowboys. So,
Boo. I wish he wouldn't went there.
but Ryan Day, the head coach of Ohio State, who was right there, looking tight and right like a model, gleaming like a proud papa, they have a lot to be proud of. But Ryan Day, as the head coach of Ohio State, has a lot to be proud of because it is so phenomenal and highly unusual to have
Hmm.
4 picks in the top 11 of, of an NFL draft. So that is great.
Right. And not to mention, the top four in the top 100 picks. That's phenomenal. I don't think that's been done in a long time when you have so many high profile players, going in, as you said, in that high manner. So that shout out to Ryan today and to Matt Patricia, the defensive coordinator for the Ohio State Buckeyes. That's showing that they have a pretty good farm and that they're producing some good talent. So I'm happy for all the Ohio State guys that went in this first round, and I just hope that Sonny Styles, Mister Lawrence Styles, can come out and and make an impact for us. You know what I mean? So
Well, they say the
um,
forecast is sunny.
it is sunny. It is definitely sunny. It is definitely sunny.
Yep.
So I'm happy. I'm happy. So Denise, how do you feel? With Sonny. Was he an expected pick of yours, or I know we both said about the best available pick, but when we landed that pick, were you really satisfied with that pick?
I was because first of all, we needed to focus on defense first,
Yes.
okay?
Hmm.
Because let's face it, um, David Blau inherited a better offense from Cliff Kingsbury, our former offensive coordinator, than Durante Jones, our current defensive coordinator,
Mm-hmm.
inherited from Joe Witt Jr. and Dan Quinn. You know, I'm giving Dan Quinn some of the blame for that because he did lose Joe Witt Jr. Play calling responsibilities. So, you know, with the bad ranking of our defense and with all of the
Mm-hmm.
dire needs we had at defense, I fully expected the Commanders to pick up a defensive player. And fortunately, you know, at number 7, we had a choice of one of
Mm-hmm.
the Ohio State players. So I think it all worked out very well. And, you know, given Sonny Styles' performance in college, I think he has a lot of potential. You know, he's
Mm-hmm.
demonstrated a lot of skill. As far as I'm concerned, he's NFL ready.
Oh
But
yeah, for sure. For sure.
but Durante Jones, as we know, is a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Durante Jones likes to have a hands on teaching, mentor, coaching type of style where he said he developed individual development plans for the current players who are on the team. So I'm
Uh-huh.
sure Mr. Sonny Styles is going to come into his IDP and he's going to work with that. And you know, Sonny already said his dad taught him, you know, once you get on the team, seek out a vet.
Right.
Whichever side of the ball they're on, it doesn't matter. They can be an offensive player or a defensive player or special teams. It doesn't matter. Get in with a vet and learn what you need to learn. Pick up those nuggets. So I like Sonny Styles' disposition. I like his
Mm-hmm.
attitude coming in, you know, and he said he wanted to be here.
Right.
So, you know,
Definitely. Definitely want to be here.
I think it's great. I think it's a good fit, and I think he will do well. And you know, the Commanders have focused on having players who do well both on and off the field, and us having Bobby Wagner, who won the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. You know, that just sets the tone even more for these
Right.
players to realize that when you come to DC, yeah, you're going to
Mm-hmm.
expected to play well, but you're going to be expected to get along with others, and you have to be upstanding in the community, both on and off the
And
field.
off the field.
So I think
Absolutely.
Sonny Styles meets the profile.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, he comes from that that type of pedigree. As you just mentioned, his dad was a former NFL linebacker for the St. Louis Rams. Actually, he was there. He played with one of our own, Big Fletch, Big London Fletcher at the
London
St. Louis
Fletcher.
Rams. Right. So his father was Lawrence Styles, a good formidable linebacker. So he already has the DNA and
He's
he
got the
has the pedigree.
pedigree.
He
Yeah.
definitely has the pedigree. So now we just need Sonny to, now that he's going into this level. One thing that I'm happy about is that before he became the most productive linebacker last year, okay,
Mhm.
at this position, he had a background of being a safety. So
Right.
he's able to be interchangeable.
Transition.
That's one thing I'm going to like, that Coach Durante Jones is going to be able to move Sonny around. Even when you have certain different packages, like with Leo Chanel and you have a
Mhm.
Clavon Chase on, you can actually move these guys around. You can also put Sonny on the edge and rush him from the edge, because
Right.
as we know, he's 6'5", 6'4", whoever you talk to, he's a big
We're
guy. He
saying
can,
6'5". We're going to go with
yeah, we're
six
gonna
five.
say 6'5". I'll
I
give
was
him that
giving him
edge. Yeah,
giving him an
right.
inch.
And he can, he can move laterals. He's a big man that can move. I'm so excited because he has a high ceiling, and like
Yeah.
he said, and DQ and Coach Durante Jones said, he's just only scratching the surface. Coach
Right.
Ken Norton, let's give him his props, because that's going to be his position coach. Thanks to the world of him, and that's another person that he can rely on, that can drop him some nuggets, because he played that position at a high level. So I'm thankful and I'm happy that we have Sonny Styles, and I think he's going to be him along with some of our other pieces are going to be good corner pieces for this defense.
Yeah, and you know, but there has been some mixed reaction to it. Now, from what I have been able to gauge, most Commanders fans are very happy with this pick. And of course, I
Mm-hmm.
think that is reasonable. And of course, I agree with them. But there are some who feel like because the Commanders did so well in free agency, you know, picking up linebackers that they didn't need yet another one. So some people felt like there were more urgent needs that the Commanders have where they could have filled other positions. But you have to look at who is the best available player on the
Exactly.
board, you
Right.
know? So
Right.
this to me was the pick to make it. You were real close with,
Yeah.
saying that Mansoor,
Yep.
Mansoor
Mansoor
was going to
Delane.
be because yeah, he may have, been picked had he been available, but he got snatched up
Yeah. The
right
Cleveland, the
before us
Chiefs
at the
jumped
number
up.
6 pick, you
Yep.
know.
The Chiefs jumped up
So
to that pick.
yes, yes, because the Cleveland Browns gave him up to the Kansas City Chiefs.
That is
So,
correct.
but I thought about you when I heard Mansour's name. I said,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
D Nice was close. You were
And I
close.
wanted to bring him home. He's a Baltimore native. He's
Yes,
not quite
he's
DMV,
from
but
the
I'm gonna give.
DMV.
Yeah, he's from the area. But it just would have felt good and feel right. Like, and as I told you before, to me, it would have had two. Like when I had Mix on, we talked about far as having two formidable corners that's young, and
Yeah,
I think that would have been a perfect move. But it didn't happen that way, and it's still Sonny Styles fell in our lap, and I just think we're in a good position. We only can go up from here. I really love, we still got to play the game, right? But in the
right.
meantime, on paper, I think we've gotten younger, faster, and definitely stronger.
Stronger.
What do you
Yeah.
think? I think because
Absolutely.
that's
I
what
mean, look
everybody
here,
wanted.
6'4", two
Mm-hmm.
hundred 243 pounds. And
Yeah.
let's talk about some of his stats, okay? In
Okay.
14 games, okay, this was last season for him. He got
Yes.
a total of 82 tackles. That
Mm-hmm.
is good. That's what we want to see. And 46, the majority of those tackles were solo tackles. And he was able to get 36 assisted tackles. So,
Mm-hmm.
that is good. He's a physical player. And then he had 6.5 tackles for loss.
That is
So,
correct. Because he
you
can
know,
stop the ball. He can stop the
yes.
runs.
So this
So he's
this
just
is
not
this
one
is what we
dimensional.
need. Hmm.
Yes.
He's got a sack,
Mm-hmm.
3 defended passes, and a forced fumble. We love to see those forced fumbles, and
Yes.
he even got an interception. This was all last season. So, in terms of what you want to see from a defensive player, Sonny Styles was demonstrating it.
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely. Yes, it
So, this
was.
is
Yes, it
why,
was.
yeah. So, this is why, I'm happy to add him to the team. And because he's straight out of college, we have years down the road to look
21
forward
years
to.
old. He's only
Yes,
21 years old. He's not even in his man strength yet. So
exactly.
wait till he fully develops at 25. That's when most people fully develop. He already has a high football IQ. The one good thing I definitely love about his skill set is because we always said last year that Bobby Wagner, phenomenal player, but he got exposed in the passing coverage, right? So at least with Sonny, you can able to put you'll be able to put him on um, your running backs and tight ends. He can actually cover and he can run with them. Also, along with Leo Chanel. So,
Exactly.
uh,
And let's not forget, Sonny Styles had himself a day at the combine.
oh
You know,
yes,
he he put down some phenomenal numbers. So he showed his speed, his
hmm
strength, his agility. So it's all been tested, it's all been demonstrated, it's all been measured. So that made me feel even more confident, in the selection. And I just want to take a second to say hello to Daryl in the chat. Thank you so much.
hey,
Daryl is our
what's up?
main man fan. Daryl has been with us since day one. Daryl has always been here for Two of a
What's
Kind
up,
Sports,
Daryl?
always supported us. So thank you so much, Daryl. I want to take this opportunity to say hello to you directly and especially. And I want to let you know that we here at Two of a Kind Sports, the show where passion meets the game,
hmm
appreciate you very much. Thank you, Daryl.
Absolutely. Thank you, Daryl. Appreciate you.
So yeah, and in terms of the things I like about Sonny Styles, I also like that he comes from a winning program. Okay. So,
Right.
he has obviously learned some really good lessons that
hmm
he's going to be able to bring with him to
Right.
our team, and
hmm
I think that's a good thing. And you know what? Today, I got to thinking back
Which
in
what
time.
were you thinking, Denise? What
I
were you
had
thinking?
a flashback in the Soul Train history book. You
Okay.
know, we got Haskins, Dwayne Haskins, right?
hmm
From
hmm
Ohio State, the quarterback, the late, the late Dwayne Haskins. We
That
got
is
him
correct.
from Ohio State, and unfortunately, he's no longer with us. But that's when I first began to notice how dynamic Ohio State's football program could be. And they have
Mm.
just gotten better, you know?
Well, you can go back in the day. Let's go back to Eddie George. Let's go back to Sean Springs. Let's go back
Oh,
to
yeah,
Joey
yeah, the good
Galloway.
ones that we got.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Ohio State has always put out some good talent. Now their quarterbacks don't always usually pan out in the NFL, but when you talking
That's a
about,
hard thing to do, though. You
yeah,
know,
it
for
is.
the
It
QB
really is.
position, that is hard. You know.
Yeah, yeah. They put out some good receivers and some good DBs. That's one thing they always been a well-oiled
Yeah.
machine. As far as putting out DBs, but quarterback, not so much. But
Right.
phenomenal program. If you
Right.
go to the Ohio State and you came out of that program, 9 times out of 10 you're a good football player and you will
Yes.
make it to the league.
Yeah, and I
So
think that they've learned what it takes to successfully transition from the collegiate level to the professional level, and I am confident in Durante Jones' teaching ability.
yeah,
I like the fact that in terms of the way our team has been governing
hmm
during the free agency and this draft, it seems like our coach and our coordinators are very much involved, and I like that. You know,
me too.
so
Me too. You,
everybody
you you can
seems
see
to
the
be
you
happy
can
with
see the whole camaraderie
yes,
together. You can see
and
everybody's on the
everybody
same
seems to
accord.
be happy with what is going on and the direction that the team is taking because they have they have input.
hmm
Everybody feels involved, included. So I think organizationally, because I've been very critical of this
hmm
Washington Commanders team organizationally for some of the questionable moves they have made. But I want to say that during free agency and during this draft, I really think that they have made moves that will strengthen the foundations of this team and this
I
organization
agree.
as a whole. I like it. I like it.
I agree with you 1,000% on it, Denise. Definitely. So let me ask you this, Denise. With Sonny Styles coming in, do you really think that his rookie year, we have all these rookies that's coming in. Do you really see him being a person from day one that's kind of plug and play, being impactful, or you think they're going to kind of lead him and work him into the rotation? What do you think? Do you think he's day one starter, or he's going to be pretty much worked into the rotation?
Well, if Durante Jones in this professional league as the DC, because he successfully performed at the next lower level. If
Mm-hmm.
Durante Jones is who he wants to be, and if he is who he says he is, and if
Mm-hmm.
he's going to be allowed to be who he wants to be, I think Durante Jones will train Sonny Styles up good enough because Sonny Styles doesn't need much. Okay, there's not
Right.
a lot of work to do, but I think Durante Jones he's very detail oriented, so he'll be taking a close look at Sonny Styles and seeing
Mm-hmm.
what his strengths are, and then focusing on his weaknesses to upbuild him, to get him where he needs to be. So based on my high hopes about
Mm-hmm.
what type of player developer Durante
Mm-hmm.
Jones will be, yes, I think Sonny Styles will be plug and play. I think Sonny Styles will perform very well in the middle. I think
Yeah.
everybody's talking about Sonny in the middle.
Sunny in the
So
middle. Yeah.
yes, so I think he's going to do very well, and
Mm-hmm.
where he needs to, learn and where he needs to grow and all of that. I think in Durante Jones' hands, he will do fine. I think he will do fine.
You
Now,
couldn't have
David
said it no the
Blau,
better.
on the other hand, with the
Uh-huh.
offense,
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to see what David Blau is going to do on offense because tonight, thanks to you, I
Mm-hmm.
know the number 71 in the draft, the number 71
Yes.
selection in the
Mm-hmm.
2026 NFL draft is. I wanted you to say the name. I said is.
See, I'm sorry. um, Uh,
Antonio
yeah, Antonio
Williams.
Williams. I'm sorry, Antonio Williams from Clemson University. He was our 71st pick. Um,
Yes.
don't know too much about him too much, right now, but I'll definitely dig
Yeah,
into
we're
him.
going
But
to look him up.
yeah, we're going to definitely look him up. But I do think that he does add some depth. When I looked at his measurables, he's 5'11, 5'11 and a half, 187 pounds. So he kind of reminds me, his frame is like a Jaden Lane that we have. So I
Mhm.
want to see, because he's not really a big receiver. Um, and ladies and gentlemen, I still think after this draft, June 1 or maybe, I still think that Brandon Ayuk will find a place on this roster. And I'm still not opposed to either Debo Samuels, or, as I said, in the last live stream, I wouldn't be opposed to bringing in our boy Stephon Diggs. I
Oh,
think
okay.
last year he was a 1,000-yard receiver with Drake May,
Mhm.
and he's still productive. Now I understand a lot of people gonna say, well, you have an older receiver than Terry, which you do, and Stefan is like a year older, but I'm looking at production. And right now, we need to get more toys. We need to get more weapons to Jaden. I think we did a lot free agency and in this draft so far, on the defensive side. Now it's time to go get our man some weapons, because I want to see this offense. It's finally looking like the defense caught up with the offense, but I want to see now this offense go to another level.
And you know what? If David Blau is who he thinks he is,
Mm-hmm.
and if David
Mm-hmm.
Blau is who he says he is,
Who he
I
say he
think,
is.
yeah, I think that he will have some opportunities
Uh-huh.
to show and prove that he is worthy of this uh, career leap and bound that he has been blessed with. Because
Definitely
they
been
slid
blessed.
David Blau all the way up the career ladder on a greased pole. Okay, they just slid him right up. So
Mm-hmm.
this is his opportunity. This is going to be David Blau's opportunity to show that he can take this young talent and mold it, shape
Right.
it, you know,
Shape
and
it.
and
Mm-hmm.
and and put these players in the best position to succeed. Now, he already has a super head start with
Mm-hmm.
having Jaden Daniels in his arsenal.
That is
Okay.
correct. That is
Okay.
correct.
So when you have, a high caliber quarterback like Jaden Daniels, all you have to do is get him weapons.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really pretty much it. Because once you give Jaden Daniels weapons, then the situation takes care of itself.
Self. Yeah, you're right. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's why, Denise, I'm glad one weapon we did get, as Chig, with Chig coming in. I just,
Yes.
as I said before, nowadays in this passing league, your tight end position is very crucial, and I believe that Chig, not to take away from Zach Ertz, okay, I think Zach Ertz played very well with us, but as far as, we need a type of tight end that's going to give us some yak yards, and I think
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
think Chig can help to unlock this offense along with Terry, Rashad White. You have of course, you still have Bill. I don't know if Jerome Ford is going to make it or whatever, but you
Yeah.
still
From
you
the
have some
Browns,
pieces
right?
from
From
the
the
Browns,
Cleveland
yes,
Browns.
from the
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns, yes. So and let's not forget about Jeremy McNichols.
Yeah.
He's still make some plays. So I kind of like what we're doing. I just want to see more, because here's the thing, Denise. I do not want to see in 2026 where Jaden has to constantly always play Superman. I want him to be able to play Superman when need to be, but I want him to rely on his playmakers on the offensive side, like kind of how it was in 2024. So having De'Ami Brown back is
They're having
also an
Diami
asset.
back. Diami's
Right.
diaries.
Right, having him back. So now you have another year of Luke McCaffrey. Okay, Luke will come back, and then you will have Jaden Lane. So and then Traylon Burke. So I'm interested to see with these pieces, along with if we get any additional, because after this draft, people are going to cut people, and so we're definitely going to be signing some people, because your UFAs, which is your undrafted free agents, most people going to this rookie mini camp, they're going to the training camp at least with 90 people. So we're going to be looking for some more additional UFAs that's coming.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I just want the best 53. All I want to do is win, baby. Win. That's the main thing.
Exactly.
I can care less. I'm not for the name on the back. I'm all for what's in the front. You know what I mean? And which is our commanders, whatever you want to call them, Redskin commanders. That's who I'm for.
Oh,
That's
can you
our
call
burgundy
him that?
gold.
Because we we do.
Well, I know we can't call them that, but some fans still, regardless, they're gonna still say it. So
Right.
I have accepted it. You have accepted it as well. We are the Commanders, and they say it all the time. We are the Commanders. Change is good, people. So don't be afraid to change. But Denise, like me, you and I talk all the time. Once we start winning, it become a more of the norm.
Yes. Winning cures all. But you know what? Let me
Absolutely.
just take this moment to vent a little bit. Yeah,
Okay.
our team should be named the Washington Red Wolves. The
Mm,
red wolf is a wolf that is on the endangered species list. And
yes.
by naming our team after the red wolves, we could raise awareness, we could raise funds, we could help get the red wolf off of the endangered species list. Environmentalists would love us, animal lovers would love us, animal activists, they would love us,
Right.
and we would be put in a whole different position. And then we would be able to keep the HTTR, which we are all so connected with,
Mm-hmm.
HTTR. And it wouldn't be hard to change, the name of the not the name, but the change the lyrics of our fight song,
Mm-hmm.
hail to the Red Wolves, and it would be a wonderful game day experience for the fans because some of our fans like to dress up in costumes, and so wearing the faux fur, like
Mm-hmm.
the wolf is kind of is reminiscent of Game of Thrones. They had the wolves, and we could use Duran Duran's song "Hungry Like the Wolf," and we can
Right.
howl when
Right.
people, when touchdowns are scored. So I think
Of
that would be a
course.
good thing. But we have the Commanders, and we also have, as you and I talked about um, offline, we
Uh-huh.
also have like a Native American group, that's trying to pipe up and
Oh yes.
talk like, oh, they're so disappointed with the spear. Look, Native Americans,
We
you are
can't
not
win
the
for nothing.
only fighters on the globe who have used spears. You go on every continent on planet Earth. People have fought historically with spears. So there
Mm-hmm.
is no Native American tribe that can claim that by the commanders using the spear as a symbol that it is hearkening back to Native Americans, because that's hearkening back to all the warriors all over the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Shaka Zulu in Africa has something to say about that, okay?
Yeah, it's like we can't with and nothing against the Native Americans, um, but it just seemed like we cannot appease them in no type of way. It's like you were mad when the name was taken away from us. I just want y'all to make your mind up. Like either
Well,
you
they
want us
wanted
to,
the name. A lot of them wanted the name to
yeah, a
be
lot of
taken
them
away
wanted,
from, even though
some
that
wanted, some
Washington
wanted.
Post, yeah, but even though that Washington Post survey that was done a long time ago, that Washington Post survey
Mm-hmm.
asked the Native Americans, how do you feel about the name? Most Native Americans surveyed said they did not have a problem with it. But see, when the
Mm-hmm.
fight was on, none of these Native American groups that I am aware of fought to keep the name when the fight was on.
I agree.
Now that it's
Totally agree.
over, now that we've had to move on due to pressure from, external forces, hey, there I don't think there is any going back as much as people love the name, but you know what? Who
It's
we
about the
are
money. It's
is
about the
the
money. They're not getting no
commanders.
money.
Well,
They're not getting
well,
no
you
money
know
now.
what? The Dan Snyder checks ended when Dan Snyder
That ended.
left, because Dan Snyder was
Absolutely.
giving donations to Native American tribes.
Yes.
We
Mm-hmm.
know about this. Okay, we know. and when
Yeah.
he was out, those checks stopped. And you know who's not writing any checks like that?
Josh Harris.
Or
Not right
Magic.
now. Or Magic.
That's
Or
right.
Mitch
Don't look for any of them. Don't look
Rivers.
for
None
any
of
of
them.
that group.
None of them. None of the 1,000 owners that we have. Nobody cutting out no travelers checks. None of that. You know what I mean? No gift
No.
cards. They like, hey, look, I mean, but one thing I do like with Josh Harris and company. Okay, now they know that it's not popular by the contrary of the fans, right? But they're still trying to make it their own. They're rebranding the kind of mess up that happened from the previous administration. I do like that. They're giving us some twists, just like last week with Mark Klaus, who is the VP of President Operations. He talked about things that they listen to the fans, and I'm hoping going forward that they continue to listen to the fans. I do think as we go into RFK 2.0, by 2030. I think we're going to see a little bit more changes. Now, the name change is
Yeah.
not going to happen, but I think you're going to see more far as them getting more creative with the spear. I think that'll be incorporated maybe as our primary with the W. Now, as you and I said offline, I would like to see the W. I like the W, but they got to change the font. I don't like how it looked like a taco stand at the top, you know. So if they can change that up and just get a little creative, I'm for it because you can't put no feathers on it, which it would look dope. It would look fire, but you already know what's gonna come with that. So
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
but Josh and them and Mark Klaus, I commend you. You've been listening to the fans, and it's been a win-win situation. And now that what Adam Peters has did with Sonny Styles, and I hope to see tomorrow be day 3, the last day of the draft. I like to see us continue to fill this roster out. So I'm loving so far with our 2026 off season.
Yeah, I think Adam Peters really set the proper tone with free
Yes,
agency. I
absolutely.
mean, you could see the direction he was going in. You could see that he was addressing our need to build a nice pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we are going to be more dynamic on defense. And again, having Jaden Daniels. All you need to do is fine tune and tweak your offense. But in
That's it.
terms of that defense, they needed help. Tore up from the floor up. So
And they
they
did a heck of a
needed
job
help.
doing it.
Yeah.
It was tore up, like you said, tore up from the
Yeah.
floor up.
Yeah.
And
So I think that, in this off season,
mm-hmm.
the team has made the right moves. And I am happy with what they did at number 7, the first round
Mm-hmm.
draft pick. And, I think they have the tools to move forward. Now, what they had best do is come off of that 5 wins, 12 losses.
They better,
Okay.
because we can't do that no more. 5 and 12, it is not an option. Not an
No,
option
no.
at
And
all.
and it would make both David Blau and Durante Jones look bad. And I think both of those gentlemen have a lot to prove because they've never held this position before. This is an
Yeah.
opportunity for career growth for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they will do enough this season to save Dan Quinn's job. I'm not a fan of Dan Quinn. I mean, I think he's a
Right.
nice guy. I think he's a wonderful guy and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of being a champion, a coach of champions,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that from Dan
Yeah.
Quinn. But
I
if
do think
things
this is a
work out
playoff
well
team.
this season,
Yeah.
you
I think it's
know,
a playoff team. I think
if
11 wins will get us in
really
playoffs. Yeah.
based on this schedule, based on
Yes,
this
I do.
schedule they have,
I do. I
I
do.
know.
Because
Okay.
as we know, even though yes, last year good teams, but every year is a year to year league. So
It
I like
is.
our chance. If we stay healthy, I like our chances of us.
Okay, but
Um,
just staying here at home in the NFC East.
it's gonna be tough.
Okay. You
The
know,
NFC East is gotten better.
we had
Day
no
one was great.
yeah, well, we had no answer
Mm-hmm.
for the Eagles. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they would have beaten us twice last season had
Mm-hmm.
they played their starters in the season finale. Okay, but they chose to
Yeah,
put their backups out there to save, the starters for the playoffs. So it took our starters everything they had to beat the Philadelphia Eagles backups.
that is true.
So
But we
that
also
win,
had a backup quarterback. We had Josh Johnson playing. So we was down to
well,
our third string quarterback.
yes,
Right,
and
right.
that third
So
string quarterback was hungry and had
right.
everything to prove, trying to get a job.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's why I said Dan Quinn should have put all of the unknowns who had not had an opportunity to play out there, because everybody would have been playing for a job. Everybody would have been, desperate for a roster spot and playing, the best ball that they could possibly muster to play. So,
Hmm.
but then too, winning that game, we went from the number 5 pick in the 2026 draft to the number 7 pick, but we rallied. We rallied
Right.
because we have
Right.
Mr. Sonny Styles, and the forecast is sunny. Can we see a picture of Sonny, please?
We sure can. Let's take a picture of a man, Sonny.
Now there we go with a 0 jersey.
Hmm. That's the zero jersey with it. Mm-hmm.
And the Commanders are
Um,
very proud of this pick. They are very proud of him.
yeah,
Hello,
and he
Mies 2647. I'm addressing the chat. Hello, Mies 2647. Now let me see what he says. He says, "Great show, but not a playoff team by any chance." And that is a excuse me. That is oh, I'm sorry. You see, Mies, you choked me up. I can't even get myself together on that one. Wait a minute. Okay. Great show. Thank you very much for that. I certainly appreciate the compliment. I will take that. Thank you very much. Two of a
hmm
kind appreciates it, because we are the show where passion meets the game. So thank you. You don't think the Commanders are a playoff team by any chance? Based on our tough schedule, I understand.
but based
Based
on
on
what?
our
But based on
last
what?
season, I understand.
It's a different team though. So
Yes.
that's what I want to. That's I I don't disregard their comment, but this is a different team. This is a different team than last year. It's a different schedule. Some people have left those teams. People, we cannot keep getting into what happened last year is happens last year. Every team, you could be 1-13 one year and turn around. Look at us. We were 12-5 in 04, 2024, right?
Mhm.
Injuries can happen to any team. It flipped it. We were 5-12 last year. So I think that, this team being healthy, this could be a playoff team. It's a different totally team. So, I don't get caught up in that was last year. Last year is last year. At the end of the day, we all got to play this game again. We have a new personnel, and it's about, what I'm saying, who gonna mesh and who gonna stay the healthiest. So, you know, um, I don't knock that, but I think this is a playoff team. I do.
Well, my
I do.
concerns are
Hmm.
here in the NFC East,
Yeah.
okay, we haven't had an answer for the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's
Right.
hope that changes. Okay, we did not. And last season, I have to go back to 2025. I have to go back to year of our Lord 2025. We
Hmm.
didn't have an answer for those Dallas Cowboys, which,
We did not.
we they are our opponents. They are our, arch nemesis. That's
Yeah.
who the Cowboys are. So if we can't beat anybody else, we definitely want to beat the Dallas Cowboys. Now, last year, as in years past, the New York Giants have been a bigger disaster than us. So
Hmm.
we could look at the New York Giants on our
And they're
schedule
better.
and
And they're
count
better.
those as 2 wins for the Commanders and 2 losses for the Giants. However,
Hmm.
this season coming up, the New York Giants are being coached by Jim Harbaugh.
Right. And with
That's
a defensive
a
man.
game changer. That is a
Hmm.
total game changer. And then they're drafting well. Okay,
Yes.
so
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah,
um,
they picked up Ariel Reese.
yes,
He's a
that's right.
heck of a linebacker. Pass rusher. So,
They had the number 5 pick. So it's
yep,
like,
they had the
yeah,
five and the fifth and the 10th pick. So they're not
yes,
playing. And as we just saw before we came on our live, they made some trades to pick up some additional picks. So
yes.
they're not playing. This is the NFC East to me, Denise, because it kind of remind me, kind of like early 2000 years, 99. You know what I mean? When the division was good. You know what I mean? From top to bottom, I really see like everybody's going to really beat up on each other. So if you paid attention to the draft yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Which I did, I paid attention to it. Everybody in our division was trying to get better far as DBs. You know why? Because we see in our division that everybody has pretty much good receivers. When you look at
Yeah.
Dallas with George Pickens and what's my man oh Lord have mercy, what's his name? I can't remember his name right now, but you have him, you have Pickens, and you have, I just had a brain. But then you go into to the Eagle side where you have Devontae Smith. Now we don't know if AJ Brown is going to be there,
Right.
but now you have they drafted Mekhi Lemon, so you have people. So you have to get stronger. Even with us with Jaden Daniels, you know what I mean. We're going to actually, I still think with Brandon Ayuk, I think we need to get more pieces. So more speed. So that's everybody is pretty much drafting to stop each other. and I paid attention a lot to that yesterday. All three division foes, well, two
Yeah,
division foes, made good picks along with us.
absolutely. And the biggest problem with that is, okay, we already didn't have answers for the top two,
Hmm.
teams in our division, the Eagles and the Cowboys. Okay. Now we can't even count on beating up on the Giants. So we certainly need to do that. Now,
Right.
Me's 26
You're right. Read
47
that, Denise.
says there's a
Read that.
tough schedule, and the adversity can
Mommy
be a
five.
challenge. I'm improvising. Okay, the NFL will be violent. I agree with that. Everybody plays everybody, yes, and there is no easy
Hmm.
schedule like there was in 2024. Now, I won't say that the 2024, well, the 2024 schedule was favorable,
Right.
but um, the team played who was on their schedule, and that's all the Commanders and any other team in the NFL can do. All they can do is play who's on their schedule. Sometimes it's tough, sometimes it is more
Right.
favorable to the team winning. Um, I for one am not expecting another 2024 this season. I
Hmm.
think that 2025, with all of its challenges and with all of its adversities, kind of made 2024 look like a fluke. But I could be proven wrong because we have a new offensive coordinator who
Hmm.
is bright-eyed, bushy-tailed,
Hmm.
and they seem to be setting David Blau up to succeed. Okay.
Right.
Then we have on the defensive side, we have a defensive coordinator who is also very eager to prove himself. And
Right.
I really like the way Durante Jones presents himself. I like the way he explains, his modus operandi. I am impressed with the fact. Yeah, I don't know if you guys realize how hard it is to develop individual development plans for
Veteran plan.
people you
Yes.
barely know. You got to study film. You really have to take a close look at the player's performance to pick out their strengths, their weaknesses, and to get them to focus on ways to improve even
Hmm.
where they're strong. And
Right.
definitely you got to focus on ways to correct where they are weak. And to do that for a whole list of players with whom you have not actually worked, that is exceedingly difficult. And yet Durante Jones did it, and he did it right in at the beginning. Like as
Right.
soon as he came in, he
That's the first
achieved
thing
that.
that
He
he
accomplished that.
achieved. That, yes, that's the
And
first
so
thing
that
he
makes
talked
me
about.
feel, yeah, I'm sorry, it makes me feel good about him. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that's the first thing he did talk about. Is developing in those plans for each one of his players. Like he said, he didn't want to just know them as a player. He want to know them as men. Know that they're ins and outs. So I like the whole approach. I even listened to some of the prospects when they were coming in for their 30-day their 30 visit. A lot of them said that Coach Devontae Williams, I'm sorry, it's Coach Durante Jones and Adam Peters and Dan Quinn. All of them are great communicators. He Sonny
Dan Quinn
Styles
is
was
a great
talking.
communicator.
Well, that's what they were saying. They were saying when they came in, they how Dan Quinn could really shows that how much they care about them as a person. This is what Sonny was
Oh
saying,
yes, yes. In
and how
terms of
much,
caring about, yes, and I can
yeah,
see that. I,
Karen,
I cannot
yeah,
argue with that. That is the yes, that is true.
yeah,
I believe that.
yeah, it
I
really
take my
cared.
laugh back. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And like he said, and we're going to show that on a couple of clips. He said that was the first thing that really made him feel that this was home. He felt that on his visit. He felt that this was a brotherhood. He said when he came in there, everybody from the staff, all was in the hallway. It just made him feel like, it made him feel welcome. So he knew when he walked away from his visit that he wanted to be a commander. So, and he told Dan Quinn, he said, hopefully I'll be back, and Dan said, we'll see. So his dream came true yesterday, and I'm happy that we have Sonny Styles. And also Meeks, thank you. That was CD Lamb. I had a brain fart for a second. So thank you. Yes, CD Lamb. Um
Well, thank
So
you
this,
for catching that in the
yeah,
comments. See how important
yes,
our comments are? We have,
absolutely.
viewers who are very interactive, and they help us when we need it, and they give us very good insights. And this is a place where you can, even if we agree or if we disagree, you can share your comments, you can share your views, and we all have a right to our opinion. And this
Hmm.
is the place where you can express that because this is where passion meets the game. So if you're
All the
passionate,
time.
this is your place because this is what Two of a Kind is about. So thank
Absolutely.
you, Mies 2647. 2647.
Hey, 2647 2468. Yep. So yeah,
Who do we
yep.
appreciate?
Hey, Sunny Styles, Sunny Styles. That's what we appreciate.
The
Um,
forecast is sunny.
absolutely. So Denise, do you let's show a little few of these clips, to our fans. Which one you want to go with first?
Okay, let's go with the one where Adam Peters actually makes the phone call to Sonny to let him know he will be selected as set at number 7 for the Commanders.
Here we go.
Confirmation call.
Sonny,
Hello?
Sonny, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Sonny, Adam Peters with the Commanders. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good, Mr. Peters. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. We were hoping you'd follow us, and you did, man. We're gonna make you this pick at pick 7. I couldn't be more excited. You are everything we embody in a Commander, and you're just scratching the surface, dude. You're so good now, and you're gonna be so good, dude. I can't wait to welcome you here and have you be a key part of our defense for 10 years to come, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. I'm ready to get to work.
Yeah, how you doing? Where you at? You in the green room?
Yeah, I'm in the green room with my family.
Yeah. Well, tell him you're a Commander, buddy. I'm gonna hand you to
Yes, sir.
Coach Quinn right now.
Yes,
All right.
yes, sir.
Hell yeah, Sonny.
Hell yeah.
What's up, Coach?
What's up, man? We talked about this in the office, making it happen, and like here
Yes,
enough
sir.
it
I
is,
told you I was
bro.
gonna be back.
I already know you would be back, man. You're a true bad mother. I can't wait to coach you, bro. I cannot wait. So,
Can't wait to get to work, Coach.
and no doubt, I'm gonna pass you along to our owner, Josh Harris. So here he is, bud. Congrats.
Yes, sir.
All right, here's
Thank
Josh.
you.
Hey, Sonny. Can't wait to see you in D.C. You're going to kill
What's
it
up, sir?
down
How we
here.
doing?
Are you with your mom and dad, or?
Yes, sir. I'm with my mom and dad.
All right, well, look, enjoy this night. I mean, you really killed it to get here, and we are so excited you're going to be a Commander, and can't wait to meet you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Can't wait to meet you.
All right, man. Celebrate up. We'll see you tomorrow. That's all for you.
Yes,
You're
sir.
all cheering?
Yes,
All right, man. Appreciate you.
yes, sir.
See you soon.
Appreciate you. Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
So
Denise,
there they were, all on
that-
the landline. You see that?
that-
They were on a
hey.
landline. Okay, so you're mute now. I can't hear you, D Nice. But they were on a landline. Okay, so he got to speak with the GM, Adam Peters. He got to speak with the head coach, Dan Quinn, and with the team owner, Josh Harris. So that was the trifecta right there. So when you hear from all of them, you are in like Flint. And that was so nice. That was so nice to see Sonny get his phone call. And me's all good, my guy, D Nice. How about all good with Denise? Me's 2647, our buddy in the chat. I appreciate you so much. So, yes, that was the phone call that Adam Peters made to Sonny Styles, confirming for him that, yes, he would indeed be the number 7 overall pick in round 1, the Commanders' first pick in the 2026 NFL draft. So that was very, very nice to see. And I appreciate that. And Sonny was very respectful. He was very composed. The moment wasn't too big for him because I would have been flipping out. I would have been like, what? You
Right.
chose me. I'm ready to go. I hear you, D Nice.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's good. That's good. I'm glad you're back. I don't know what happened, but hey, things happen. But I'm glad Sonny. Let me ask you this question: do you think that the organization, the name kind of makes Sonny Jurgensen, Sonny Styles? Do you see any type of comparisons? Like they try to embrace the old with the new. I just thought of it. What do you
Well,
think about that?
that's a happy coincidence. And you know what?
Yeah.
Speaking of the late great Sonny Jurgensen, who was a legendary quarterback for the Washington Redskins, Sonny
Hmm.
Jurgensen and I actually share the same birthday of August 23rd.
Wow.
Yeah, see,
that.
see
Yeah.
how you can tie things
You can
in.
tie things in
Sonny,
good. Yeah.
Sonny Jurgensen, Sonny Styles, Sonny
Hmm.
Jurgensen's birthday, Denise's birthday. There's some harmony working in the universe. That's
Right.
what it's about.
Right. Yep. All right. So this next one I'm going to show is when Sonny put on his good old commander's hat.
Styles here. Excited.
Come on.
Super excited to be here. Can't wait to get in the
Adam
building.
Adam is
Help the
trying to
team
make
win.
that
Let's go.
call. There we
Let's get
go.
to it. Raise hell.
Yeah, it's not. Hold on.
No, it did play. It played.
It did play.
Mhm.
That's. I want to play it again because
Yeah.
that's a very, very, that was a good. I like what he said.
What's going on, Commanders family? Sonny Styles here. Excited to get to work. I'm just super excited to be here. Can't wait to get in the building. Help the team win. Let's go. Let's get to it. Raise hell.
Raise hell.
There
I
you
like
go.
that.
Raise hell.
And that shows you already can see right now with Sonny, he's just not coming in off just the height. You can see he's ready to go to work. He's ready to carve out his own legacy. He's ready to imprint his name as being, one of the top dog commanders. I really believe that he wants to be the quarterback of our defense. We have a leader on that offensive side in JD5, and I believe that Sonny can actually be that cornerstone on the defensive side and be the face of the defense. So I like that. I definitely like it.
He's got a bright future ahead of him. He does. Sonny Styles is, I think, a welcome addition to this team. And I think he will prove himself to be a valuable asset. And certainly, if Sonny Styles is properly utilized, we have to come up from being 32 on defense. Okay. Oh, and speaking of which, D-Nice. Looking at the draft, did you catch when Sonny Styles was selected? The NFL played Howard Jones. Things can only get better.
Yeah,
Whoa,
I saw that.
Whoa.
I saw that. Yeah.
Are they throwing shade at us? I mean, I'm taking
they
it the
definitely
right way
was.
as,
Yeah,
things will
they was
get
throwing a little
better.
shade. They threw some shade. They threw
Went
some
back
shade.
to-
I peeped that. I was like, what are you saying? They putting a little subliminal messages,
Yes.
But
They
that's
went
okay.
back to the 1980s to throw shade at us, but we
Absolutely.
accepted. We like Howard Jones' song. That was a big hit. Things can only get better. And that's what we're expecting right here in the Burgundy and Gold. We expect for things to get better. So we'll take it.
Yep, we'll definitely take it. All right. I'm gonna play his next clip when that Sonny he got plenty of beautiful clips. But let's play this one.
2026 NFL Draft.
Nope.
The Washington Commanders select Sonny Styles.
Sonny Styles with the takedown.
And you're gonna guard love the game. It's gonna be fast, violent, physical.
Brought down by Styles.
I told my family this morning I was gonna be a commander.
That's what I'm talking
There
about.
you go.
That's what I'm talking about. He knew this morning when he woke up, when he opened his eyes to God this morning and asked God to, thank you for waking me up this morning. That man knew he was going to be a commander. That's the type of people I want because that those type of people you already know they're going to blood, sweat, and tears. You're gonna have to worry about questioning them coming to show up for work, being a professional on and off the field. And that's one thing that Adam Peters, Dan Quinn, and Josh Harrison them have identified as being commanders. It's not just what you do on the field, it's also what you do off the field. And that man right there sounds like a commander. So thank you, Sonny. I'm happy that you're here, and I'm just ready for you to ball out. And let's go kick some butt. I need to kick some Eagles fly, kick these cowgirls. I need to kick these G-men because these G-men feeling themselves. Let them know that we ain't far removed from 2024. JD5 is back, and we about to bring some noise. So I'm just happy. I like what we're doing. Injuries is your main thing. So I believe that David Blau will develop a system and scheme that will protect Jaden. Now I need Jaden just to continue just to be him and just to continue to elevate his game as well, Denise. And I really am optimistic about 2026.
Well, I think, In order for Jaden not to be put in the position of
Mm-hmm.
having to carry this team on his shoulders, I think Jaden has to change his style of play as well, because there are people who might, there are players who might unintentionally just subconsciously kind of not perform their best because of Jaden's exceptional play. So
Mm-hmm.
I would prefer to see Jaden focus on being an elite pocket passer. We've
Mm-hmm.
improved our O line vastly over these past few seasons. You remember we had a horrible O line,
Oh
that
yeah.
couldn't
Oh
protect
yeah.
our quarterback at all. We had an O line that couldn't cover a dead man with a king size comforter. So, you
I
know,
know that's right.
yeah. So I mean, now we have a good O line that is very serviceable. That gives him time in the pocket. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I would prefer to see Jaden work on, because he's got
He
talent.
has
He's
a
got
yeah. He
skills.
has
That's
all the
all proven.
intangibles. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got
Just got to
all of
stay
that.
healthy.
But I would, and one way to help him to stay healthy is for
Mm-hmm.
him to concentrate on being an elite pocket passer, because we know he can run, we know he can jump, we know he can duck, dodge, bob, and weave. He's got the wiggle and the jiggle with him. So we
Yeah.
know that he can do all of that. But
Uh-huh.
sometimes, that makes the other players play kind of down to that, knowing that he's going to make a great play. Whereas if he stays in his lane, when they don't perform, they get exposed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
David Blau needs to keep a job. David Blau needs to justify his promotion. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that if Jaden kind of changes the way he plays to put these other players in a position where they have to push harder, where they have to do more. Because if you come in and save somebody who's a weak performer, that person is most likely to remain a weak performer. But if
Absolutely.
you if
Absolutely.
you leave them on their own and let them sink or swim,
Mm-hmm.
then you put yourself in a position to get different results. So I would like to see that from Jaden going forward. And I think I'm hoping that David Blau will put these players on offense in the best position to succeed, because he's a young new set of eyes with a fresh perspective.
Right.
So,
I
I'm
agree.
hoping for the best.
I agree. All right. So Denise, we're gonna play this last video show where Sonny came into the Commanders as he was picked for our number 7 pick. We're gonna show this video before we end it, end our stream. But Commander fans, look at this joyous day, man. This was a life changer right here. Congratulations, Sonny, man. Oh, let's start that one on. There we go. That's nothing but love right there, Denise.
You
That's
see
nothing
how
but love.
long he hugged Adam Peters?
That's nothing but
that
love
was
right there.
that was a
That's nothing but love.
long embrace.
And you can see that genuinely everyone in the facility, the
Yeah.
organization, genuinely cares. It's like, oh man, that gives me goosebumps. You know what I mean? Because you don't have where you can go a lot of places and you feel wanted, and that's the one of the things I heard him say over and over. Even our free agents, that we picked up in free agency, that's what everyone said. They feel wanted, and when you
Yeah.
feel like you want it, you don't think that these players don't talk to other players in the league. So that I have other great talents want to come here and be a commander because of our brotherhood and our culture, and of course our coaches now. At the end of the day, like me and you say, Denise, that don't mean jack. You know what? If we ain't winning, so
Right.
now I want to see us now make these lemons into some lemonade, and let's go drink some and let's go win. That's what I want. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? As my mom, Miss Bugs would say, Miss Beverly Bugs would always say, you know what I mean? Make lemons into lemonade. So I love that. And I just think that we have now the right ingredients. We have some young corner pieces as coaches and players. And I just think now we can all move and same together. We're gonna play complementary football from the offense into the defense. And I just think we're gonna see better results. I really honestly feel that, and I will be the first to tell you, two of a kind sports fans, if we don't make the playoffs, I'll come back on here and apologize to each one of you. But I do think that this is going to be a playoff bound team. That's my honest opinion.
Well, I think that's quite ambitious, and I admire your optimism
Well,
along
thank
those
you.
lines. One thing I really liked about that clip that you showed of Sonny Styles' triumphant entrance into the Washington Commanders facility was he was already hugging. I think maybe that was that. I don't know who that was. Was that his father that he
Yeah,
was
that was
hugging?
his.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that was his father. Yeah.
Okay, but the first person he went to after his father's embrace was Durante Jones.
Yeah.
And
Matter.
Durante Jones was sincerely happy and proud. Durante
Yeah.
Jones was beaming to
Yeah.
have Sonny Styles. So to me, that bodes well for the future. I think they're off to a wonderful start, and I think
Absolutely.
that they're going to build something wonderful and positive together. And I think that the free agents that we acquired and these new draft picks, like you said, they want to be here. And did you show the picture that has Sonny Styles quote where
No, I did
he
not.
yeah, let's
Let
let's see that
Yes,
one
let's see that
because
picture. Yeah.
yeah.
Here we go.
Okay, yeah. I told
Ooh.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Go
told
back.
I told my whole family this morning I was gonna be a commander, and no one
Mm-hmm.
really thought so. I just had this feeling, and this is most important, folks. Sunny Style says, "I love this organization. I love the people. That makes all the difference in the world." That is a heartfelt, very wonderful quote from
Man,
Sonny Styles about his new position in life as being one of the Washington Commanders, our
you could
new
tell that
line.
you could tell that was well thought out. It was
Yeah.
very well thought out, and it was not something he was just saying for the moment. I really believe he loves being a commander. You notice he talks about all the time. He said, "I will look good in that burgundy and gold," and that put a smile to my face. That put a
Well,
smile
just
to
in
my face.
time for the new unis because it's the right shade of burgundy and
Yeah,
gold. And the
absolutely.
white, the black, he'll look good in all of that. Oh, speaking of which, my mom wanted me to
Hey.
say
Mm-hmm.
right here on Two of a Kind Sports, the show where passion meets the game.
Absolutely.
She said she was very impressed with the way the draftees were dressed. She said all of those young men were dressed very well. They were all sharp. So my mom
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed the 2026 NFL draft fashions
Mm-hmm.
because the men brought it. So, mom, I almost forgot, but I did remember.
Hey, mom.
So,
Yeah.
yes,
Thank
my
thank you for
mom really
thank you for
appreciated
reminding Denise. Great minds. That's what a great mind. I look her and my mom together, man. They probably this world will be a different place.
Absolutely,
Definitely be
absolutely. So,
good
yes.
minds, great minds, very wise women.
Absolutely. So, yes, my mom really appreciated the fashion. She liked all the suits. The men were dressed very well for the
Mm-hmm.
draft. And they looked like they were who they want to be.
Right,
They say, dress the part until and dress for who you want to be. And
right.
these young men dressed for who they will now become because hey,
Mm-hmm.
they're signing pen to paper now.
Hey, their lives are changing now. Now it's no more being
Absolutely.
a student athlete. You are a true professional. And so now with being a professional, you have to go out to be a professional. So it's my advice to all these young guys coming in, even your Sunny Style, get under somebody's wings, how to take care of your body. You know what I mean? All these little things matter. All these little things matters to the longevity of your career and how your season gonna go. Taking care of your body, getting sleep, eating right. You know what I mean? Studying right because a lot of people don't know how to study film. You got to have an eye for what you're watching. You can't just be watching as a fan. You got to know what to look for, not just looking at what you do well. You need to look at what you're doing, what you need to improve on. So, and I just think repetition. I just want to, and I think it's contagious. I believe when you start seeing one person do it, everyone starts to do it. It's kind of like with Jaden's rookie year, right? When he was wearing the VR stuff. Now you have more people want to start doing that. They wanted to start coming at 5 in the morning. You know what I mean? Because they seen how this was helping. And this is a results driven league. I'm a results driven person, so I just want to see us win. And I'm ready to. I'm willing to go to whatever measures for us to win. I don't care who it is as a coach. I just want to see us be on top of that NFC East this year. That's how I feel about this whole thing.
Well, you gave some good advice that can be applied in every manner of life, by
Absolutely.
all people, not just
Hmm.
the new rookies in the NFL, the new
Hmm.
draftees. So
Yes.
that's some good advice you gave. And I will try to apply some of that myself. We can
Me too.
all
Me
stand
too. We
some.
together. Hey, that's what partners do. That's what. Hey, I'm gonna try it together. Let's do it together. Because I believe that we all do these things to make us 1% better. You hear a lot of the players talk about they want to just be 1% better. They could be 1% better. We could be 1% better as people. Live and treat people right and be kind. You know what I mean? And that's how I want to see our players. Be mean, ferocious. When you're out on that field, but when you off the field, you represent us as the fans and you represent that organization and make us proud. So that's all I want, and I know that's all Denise wants. Two of a kind. That's all we want. We want to win, and we want to finally have some pride back. When it comes to talking about our Commanders.
Yeah, and I do want to commend the players though, because off the field, our players have done a good job.
Hmm.
We haven't had very many instances of off the field distractions. We can look around the league and we can see who the problem people are. And
Hmm.
fortunately for us, they don't wear burgundy and gold. So our
Absolutely.
guys have been upstanding, public figures, and I do
Hmm.
want to commend all of them, for that. So.
Yes.
We've done well in that aspect.
Yes, we have. That's good. And another thing we've done well at, no leaks. In years
Well,
past, that's all you hear is leaks,
that
leaks,
that
leaks,
that's
leaks.
because the former owner was a target. He
Yeah.
was a target. So,
Yeah.
when he left, a lot of that nonsense left with him. So,
Right.
you know.
Right. Yep.
And we have better days to look forward to. So again, like
Hmm.
I said, as critical as I have been of the organizational decisions and moves of this team on some occasions, um, thus far during free agency, during this draft, I think that the Commanders have made some very positive moves that put them in a good position to move forward with much better results than 5 wins, 12 losses. So,
Hmm.
congratulations to the Commanders.
Raise
Congratulations.
hell. We got to raise
Yeah,
hell. We got to do better than what we did last year. If you want to use
absolutely.
those, taglines like we use it as we have a two of a kind. Passion meets the game. Well, if you want to say raise hell, it's time to go out there and raise some hell. Not just for
Exactly.
your fans to say it, you got to let the league put the league on notice. You got to let these other teams know that when you see the Commanders, they're gonna raise hell. So it's time to put up or shut up.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
Yeah. So I don't have anything else. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Like I said, tomorrow at noon is rounds. What is it? Rounds 5 through 7.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to filling out this roster. I want to see what we do, and we already know Adam Peterson said we ain't gonna be doing too much. We ain't gonna be doing no trading because we don't have the assets for it. So that's good. That's good. But I want to make sure we. And here's a fun fact: when I looked at some of the analysts before we go, they gave us an A plus, A minus. You know what I mean for our first pick. So that's
Yeah.
good. That's trending in the right way. Sometimes in years past they were trying to figure out what we were doing. So now we have some direction. We
Yes.
the national pundits are saying that this team has direction, and I guarantee you, Denise, if we play well again this season like we did, you know, a couple of seasons ago, you're gonna have a lot of the national pundits jumping back on the bandwagon. I promise you that.
Absolutely. Well, that's what they do. But then we have round 5, pick number 147, and
Hmm.
round 6 we have pick number 187, and we have two
We
six
got two
round picks.
sixes.
Yeah,
Okay.
the second 6th round pick is 209, and then in the 7th round we will round it off with pick number 223.
Hmm. Would that be a Brandon Ayuk pick?
Look,
Mm. Because the
Brandon has
because the
made
49ers
clear.
don't have a 7th round pick. They don't have a 7th pick
Well, Brandon has made clear where he wants to be.
on the
So,
DC. He heard that DC song. Welcome to DC.
welcome to
He heard it.
DC.
He heard it.
Exactly. He heard the horns. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da.
Absolutely,
So he
absolutely.
wants to come here, and I say, like your mom, make lemonade out of lemons. That
Yes.
situation that he's in is very sour. It's sour for him. It's sour for the team. And at this point, it's been so bad. Both sides are looking bad. Like I could easily, point out Brian Ayuk's failings and dealing with that situation as a professional. But then when you see the way the team has acted and reacted and responded and the way they've handled business, it becomes clear that this is mutual combat because there's wrong done on both sides. So
Hmm.
I say, if you don't like somebody, it should be super easy to let them go. But to hold on to
Absolutely.
somebody out of spite,
Being
that
petty,
that's
petty.
not
Yeah.
gonna bode well for the team.
Right.
It really
Right.
is not. So we'll see
Right.
how it all pans out. But in the meantime, in between time, over here in the Burgundy and Gold Empire, we're doing fine. We're doing
Mm,
okay because the show
absolutely.
is going to go on. We
On.
have good acquisitions from free agency. We're making
Hmm.
good draft picks. So, this Burgundy and Gold show is going to get on the road, and we're going to be good. We're going to be
Yep.
good.
We're gonna be good. Yeah. So let's wrap this up, Denise. Do you got anything you want to say out here to our
Yes,
Commander fans?
I do have something I would like to say to the two of a kind sports fans. I did deliver a farewell address, and I have to rescind that. I have to take that back because my co-host D Nice over here made me an offer that I cannot refuse. So, so two of a kind is still two of a kind. It's not going to be one of a kind or something other of a kind. It's two of a kind. So
We are two of a
this is
kind.
still going to be Denise and D Nice and Denise, the show where passion meets the
It's
game.
the game.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
And as I always like to say, love someone, hug someone.